David and Goliath. Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Soko in Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes-dammim between Soko and Azekah. Saul and the Israelites assembled and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. The Philistines occupied one hill and the Israelites another, with the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze, weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was swung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield-bearer went ahead of him. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then the Philistines said, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man, and let us fight each other." On hearing the Philistines' words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Now Jesse was the son of an Ephrathite named Jesse, who was from Bethlehem in Judah. Jesse had 8 sons, and in Saul's time he was very old. Jesse's 3 oldest sons had followed Saul to the war. The firstborn was Eliab, the second Abinadab, and the third Shammah. David was the youngest. The 3 oldest followed Saul, but David went back and forth from Saul to tend his father's sheep at Bethlehem. For 40 days the Philistine came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. Now Jesse said to his son David, "Take this ephah of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread for your brothers, and hurry to their camp. Take along these 10 cheeses to the commander of their unit. See how your brothers are, and bring back some assurance from them. They are with Saul and all the men of Israel in the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines." Early in the morning, David left the flock in the care of a shepherd, loaded up, and set out as Jesse had directed. He reached the camp as the army was going out to its battle positions, shouting the war cry. Israel and the Philistines were drawing up their lines, facing each other. David left his things with the keeper of supplies, ran to the battle lines, and asked his brothers how they were. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. Whenever the Israelites saw the man, they all fled from him in great fear. Now the Israelites had been saying, "Do you see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. He will also give him his daughter in marriage and exempt his family from taxes in Israel." David asked men standing near him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" They repeated to him what they had been saying and told him, "This is what will be done for the man who kills him." When Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard him speaking with the men, he burned with anger at him and asked, "Why have you come down here? And with whom did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." "Now, what have I done?" said David. "Can I even speak?" He then turned away to someone else and brought up the same matter, and the men answered him as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him.
Okay, everybody, let's take a break here. We're going to let Ayana and Dan do a Bible breakdown on this first half of this exciting story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and you'll be back for the second half. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into the sources around the very beginning of the David and Goliath story, really focusing on the setup, the sheer scale of the problem, and, well, how David even enters the picture.
Exactly. And that setup is critical. The sources paint a picture of this geographical standoff. You've got the Philistines at Soko, camped over at Ephes Dammim.
Right. And the Israelites?
They're with Saul, camped in the valley of Elah. Basically, two armies on opposite hills, staring each other down across the valley. Stuck.
Stuck is the word. And why? Because of one figure down there in the valley, Goliath, from Gath. The sources give us his specs, and they're pretty intimidating.
Oh, absolutely. His height is listed as 6 cubits in a span. Now, you translate that, and you're looking at someone maybe 9'6", just massive.
Almost 9.5 feet, yeah. It's hard to even visualize.
And it's not just the height, it's the gear. Think of him like a walking fortress. Bronze scale armor weighing 5,000 shekels. That's roughly 125 pounds of armor.
Just the armor.
Just the armor. And then his spear. The iron point alone was 600 shekels. That's about 15 pounds.
15 pounds for just the tip of the spear.
Right. And the shaft, described as being like a weaver's rod. Thick, heavy, everything about him screamed overwhelming force.
And this wasn't a one-time appearance. He comes out morning and evening for 40 days straight.
40 days. Same challenge every time. Send out a champion, single combat. The loser's whole nation becomes subjects to the winner.
So the stakes are total subjugation. And the Israelite reaction, according to the sources.
Pure terror. It says they were dismayed and terrified. King Saul, the entire army, effectively paralyzed, neutralized by fear of this one guy.
Which is just an incredible situation for an entire army to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're paralyzed, the solution comes from, well, somewhere completely unexpected.
Completely. Enter David, son of Jesse from Bethlehem, youngest of 8 sons.
And crucially, not really in the army at this point.
Well, his 3 oldest brothers, Eliab, Abinadab, Shammah, they were with Saul. But David, he was kind of commuting, tending his father's sheep back home, then maybe visiting the camp.
And he shows up this time on a specific mission, right? Not to fight.
Not at all. He's basically a delivery guy. Jesse sent him with supplies. An ephah of roasted grain, that's quite a bit, maybe 40 pounds, 10 loaves of bread for his brothers.
Okay.
And, get this, 10 cheeses, specifically for the commander of their unit.
He's delivering cheese to the front lines of a national crisis.
Pretty much. And it's while he's there, maybe handing over the bread, that he hears Goliath doing his usual shouting, his defiance.
And he also hears the soldiers talking, doesn't he? About the rewards.
Exactly. They're discussing what Saul has promised to the man who beats Goliath. It's quite the package deal.
Great wealth. Marriage to the king's own daughter.
And maybe most interestingly, the source mentions the man's entire family gets tax exemption in Israel. Freedom from taxes.
Wow. Okay, and David hears all this, hears the defiance, and his reaction is immediate outrage.
Yeah, he's basically asking, who does this guy, this uncircumcised Philistine, think he is, defying the armies of the living God? He's indignant.
But that doesn't exactly win him friends right away. His own brother, Eliab.
Oh, Eliab hears him, and the text says he burned with anger. He rips into David, accuses him of being conceited, having a wicked heart, just coming down to, gawk at the battle.
So before he even faces Goliath, he faces rejection from his own family, right there on the battlefield.
It's a really striking detail, dismissed by his brother first.
But David doesn't just, shrink away. He keeps asking questions.
He persists, turns away from Eliab, asks others the same thing, what will be done for the man who kills the Philistine? And his questions, this persistent talk, it gets noticed.
People start talking about this shepherd boy, asking about the reward and the challenge.
And word gets back to Saul. Someone reports what David was saying. And Saul sends for him.
Which is where we'll pick up next time. But just to recap this setup, the sources give us this overwhelming physical threat in Goliath, a psychologically shattered Israelite army, unable to act for over a month.
Paralyzed, yeah.
And then the shepherd boy arrives, literally delivering snacks, and starts asking questions nobody else dares to ask. It's an incredible contrast.
It really is, and it sets up this impossible confrontation we all know is coming. But that detail about the reward, it does make you think.
Right. We mentioned wealth, marriage to royalty, but also that tax exemption.
Yeah, think about it. The kingdom's survival is on the line, and a key incentive offered isn't just immense personal gain, but freedom from state taxes for your whole family.
What does that specific detail suggest about maybe the pressures or priorities within that society at that exact moment? Something for you to consider.
Well, that concludes today's story and Bible breakdown. Just would like to say a special thank you for everybody that stayed to the end of the video. Look forward to seeing y'all the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have yourself a blessed day.